Taanna sugullerpaat tagussauниartoq Nunavut atiliortaaniartillugu unikkaaqattartut
taanna sivullerpaarsiutiugulua uqaqattaqattali taanna pianiksimattialuarnikkumut kingullerpaarsiutittitut tautunguaqattigu Nunavut
Nunavut Aimari taikkua inuulaortut sivulligut ugagut ukiortartormiutaajugul ikkiiraaluuleqaaqami kappianarsimmarikpaksune annoqaaqattiangillune inuupiksaajunneerpaksune taimaittutoqaalunga tamanna qatlunaanilli kayortaarali inuulaorsimangmuli sivulliit
How are you? Tom? Nice to see you. Good to see you, my friend. It's been quite a while, Thomas. Yes. How are you keeping?
Oh, pretty good.
Glad to come. Nice to meet you. Yes, man. Pleasure to see you. My wife, Matt.
Welcome to Igloolik.
Welcome to Igloolik. Nice to be back, Titus. Yes, you just
I hope you brought Nigel with the hat for him.
So you're with us. It's warm here.
Good, very good.
Wonderful.
Hi, how are you?
Well, welcome to Kunuk. Titus, I like your theory. Welcome to So this is close to your hometown now, eh?
Well, about 400 miles away, I guess. About.
Yeah. Have you been here for a while? Your family are home?
No, they're not. You guys like us? No, yeah. Actually, he's posted very big.
Yeah, we'll see you there, eh? Okay. Pretty full, eh?
How are you? Inuit people. Here, you like candies? Well, how are you? Nice to see you. Inuit people. We're going to have to learn how to build an igloo. Teach me how to build an igloo? It's really warm here. It's warmer than Ottawa.
It is the first time anywhere north, so I'm really excited about it, but it's certainly colder than everyone said it was going to be. Is this a little cooler than normal here? But this is real new first now, boss.
Now, I would like to welcome Pa Kwasak, the TFN president. Manatana TFN kun isumatangan manatunga suktitimang mayaka Pa Kwasak. Namingila si Woodlock Pami. Tamani tunga suktito tiang maritakwa tikikatigi si mayabun Amittuqmiut. Tamang katak sa mayulo skidukut imakata ko ikaw maruang mayaka skidukut tamang ungasik dumingaslik tamang tiki si mayut tamang milimakta ko tungas ako yaka ulumi atilyon ni atilyo tatas sa mga siwudlak pa sirtiming amarutana Tom Sidden tungas ako tiyang mayaka Tana inidiri ito kakunod sibul ministang musara umat amarutung asitya kung mayauta ko ilang ilog siniktaran na tawag manuna siniktaran tungala kalduno yaraw paglungaro inuktituro paglungaro niya ang matay makaw yung manapos. First of all, I'd like to welcome everyone here to Igloolik for the signing of the historical land claims agreement in principle. I would like also to welcome Mr. Sidden's party, most of whom are joining us today from the south. And in particular, I would like to point out Tom Malloy, the federal chief negotiator. And his colleagues. And I'd like to mention Barry Dewar, who's in the audience. Tom and I have argued a lot. It's what our jobs required. But throughout the land claims negotiations, he has been courteous and straightforward. And for that, I thank him very much. We should not forget that the land claims agreement in principle that we're signing today is a product of hard work by the government as well as Inuit. Taimata ko ukamaro ka yakailang ikayo katak sa mayuwini watinin makwa pigeri sa tiligo no natawasing ng imaka atingin katsine at tayagaro kakisyan ikaw mayutamang milima jana magorikut so pigeri sa tiligo taman na tay kani makilaw sa mangmat amari makagamay kilok sa tamakwa pigeri tiligin so aksaro makakataraw sa mangmata Jaco Pionakut, Tana, Tawani Homenalan Mutagura, Kisani Ikayu Nakatak Simayok Tau, Johnny C. Salomoni, Tamakua Pigiris acted Ligo, Solo, Aulatiti Magira Simang Mata. I shall not make a lengthy speech, but I do want to talk a little today about the future of our land, our culture, and ourselves as people. About the agreement in principle we're signing today and the final agreement to follow, and about the dividing of the Northwest Territories to create Nunavut, the Inuit homeland. On March 22, Mr. Mulroney addressed the nation on the compelling issue of the Meech Lake Accord. The Prime Minister said, all of us without exception have been blessed by citizenship in this splendid land, our home. I would echo this statement today and the sentiments that underline it. The agreement in principle we're about to sign is a contract, a social and political contract, through which Inuit are showing their commitment to Canada, and Canada is showing its commitment to us. We want to be full citizens in our home and country, our native land. Settlement of the land claim and the creation of Nunavut territory will bind us closer to Canada and to all Canadians, and to promote a more productive relationship between Inuit and the federal government. Taman na ilang atiliyo tigini aktabu nila tsoglo iman na Canada mayon government tukakungit Inuit tsoglo siwudlak pa tiyami atiliyo niyang mata ang ikatigimi. Mariktaw yaka kamni aksyon ilo government tukakuni. Tsoglo Canada mayon taw ni wood sakipad rotiyo ni akuying sakipad maring niyang man tatsimo na atiliyo ko tigini aktatindin. Tana sibudlak paksir ti uro o kakatagatari tana pianik si matiaro ang nikumod kingudlak paksir ti tityo tao tungwa katigun. We are both proud of our past and look forward to our future with growing confidence. We're trying to build a society and economy up here that will blend the rest of the old ways with the best of the new. The land must continue to sustain us, but our children must also have a good formal education so that they can be equipped to obtain jobs. We must have a mix of skills that will enable us to survive in a rapidly changing world and to reduce our economic dependence upon government. The definition of our rights regarding lands, water, and offshore and the creation of Nunavut territory should provide a political and constitutional base from which we can build a better future for Inuit. Our goal is to ensure that our culture, society, economy, and our very own way of life will flourish in the 21st century. We should never forget this goal. It is what motivates TFN and will motivate the Inuit institutions that will be set up through the land claim process. Taman na ilang kinguwag sa isa magigiya ka makikatiguman na amaru ayung ngitiya hamne amaru tayo makinguwag sa bun. Taman na solo tagbo na ang irutikot tana ikayuta ka kung natiyang man atok tayo tiyang niya tuwapan. Atok tayo tiyang niya ni gawa matokak kuni inong nilo atok tayo tiyang niya lugo. Kasi ani unat tayo isimaru giya kami gatigod ilin niya nutakawud ilin niya tiyang hang mata. Solo sana yeksaw niya tuning tigo sige hang niyang mata. Una inong no ang iruti turangam maringman. Tayo mata na pidyo tigil lugo nutakawud ilin niya tiyang haktuig kangadimang. Ang marutaman na isimagi nakatang migatigod so kay ma Tana nunat siya magurot si tawiyahan niyang ninganig. Pidyo tigil lugo, gaba matarang nibot, isa magil lugo. Tayo may lak taman na ilin niyang ng atuta karuak juak tumaribo. We intend to control our own lives and to shape our own destiny. As such, the Inuit agenda is comprehensive and still evolving. It includes many issues that have been dealt with in land claims negotiations. It also includes issues that the federal government has not been prepared to discuss. For example, we assert the right to use Inuktitut in all facets of life in Nunavut. Along with English and French, Inuktitut should be recognized by the Government of Canada as an official language in Nunavut. We insist too that our children have the constitutional right to be educated in Inuktitut. Social and economic programs for Nunavut need to support our goals and objectives and our vibrant renewable resource-based economy, not those goals and objectives defined by well-meaning outsiders. Such reforms are urgently needed if we are to tackle the social problems in our communities with which we are all familiar. The justice system, police, and correctional services in Nunavut too must be changed to reflect not only our values, but our ways of doing things. Much work needs to be done. And the key to a better future for Inuit lies in us taking control of more and more of the political and economic levers that affect our lives. We must determine our own future, and the Nunavut Agreement in principle should be evaluated with this fundamental goal in mind. Tayo matigo sige kapalya ya kamakikata tamakuninga kautamang awra tawag tunik. Tamang may limang luilang surlo kamayaw ya kaktun. Ilang itamakwa kamakikatak sa mayaw takuning ang ikotitining ay wakatak tiluta. Ilang imakwa ukaw siro ako makatak sa mga matagawa matukak kunni surlo makwa. Una Inuktitut ukausap na kurimang atok tayo kaya kakaruang man tamani nunatini Nunavut mi. So kay marutamak ko kadlunati tudlo ubaro ni wiwi tito nang tawag to French. So lutamak ko nguming mata ilita kayo nakaruang miyawut. Kasi ani nutak kabutamak ko Inuktitut ukausang ming atutya kaya hamningin tapi ko na marigak zwakot ilita kayo kaya kakaruang ming man. Asingin lumakuha surlo isa magigiyakang mayon. Inyo ilak ko singin mariktaw diyo magigiyakang ningin ukpiriyang ilo. Imaka taman na ikaktuwi rinang parisi rinang asingin lumakuha gawa makot kamagiwak tingin. Inuktitut ilita kayo diyo magigiyakang mata. takiluatame ukadajangin na kaguruatunga. Imaka naitimi ukardigo magkanito inarakpunga tamanna ang irotigi si mayabut ukuninga tusakatak si mayagaruasi ukardigo niraktakka 136,000 square milemik nunakotitaan niya sakatta inyo nunakotilatar iluni imana pikalatar duta tamanna tukisiyak sa naruna parukpaktuaro kisiani pikalatarun ng nidagatta amaru tamanna 14,000 square mile sorlo taununga nunaw atanun imanna ilani tamanna tukisina sumakikiruaklu ayong naparukpakto inyo ilakasaring mago pikadlatan ng nunaming kisani tayo man na iniyaktigun ang una siguro na inang niya at tayo mga lima na kutuin lang amaru timi kutitaan niya timinik sakipadliya yuning ilagiyaw tiyang niya kata sangin na kamariktunik sorlo taman na nunaru imaklo taon naru takiyok awla titaw yung naksi makatangin na taakunin maring awla titikataw yung naksi maring niyartigun tamakwaro nikdutin tamakwaro pibaliya yung makatang niya tuy tamani ukswaro niya ni kuluni uyakan niya ni kuluni ukak titaw yung nakju makatang niyartigun so lutan na angiruti tatsuminga titirasamayo amarutan na kingulak pakay tana kinaw yak tusaw makatang mayawut $580 million tana ukiunik 14 akilik saktaw na yaksunik amaru asyak dingin manna ukaw sikakatirang mayawun nutango yugaro kisyani ningik tangnok tamakuning okswaruk tanong nuluni uyakang niyang lunur ukakunay limagad kama ningik takat tangnok amaru tamakwa sana ng mumiksanot tako gawamakut sana yaksanig inyong not siwudliw titakatakayahan niyatun sana nikun uvarun ni contract kun tamakwa tagba sakipadliya yaktun tana angiroti kayo sinang niya patawunga I said when I first started that I would try and be brief. But I would just like to take you now to what our agreement in principle means to us. Upon ratification of the final agreement, Inuit will have, amongst other things, the right to own approximately 136,000 square miles of land, of which 14,000 square miles will include ownership of oil and gas and minerals, the right to harvest wildlife as we have always done, and the right of first refusal on sport and commercial development of renewable resources. The right to equal membership with government agencies on new institutions of public government to manage the land and water, offshore, and the wildlife of Nunavut. These institutions include the Nunavut Wildlife Management Board, the Nunavut Impact Review Board, the Nunavut Planning Commission, and the Nunavut Planning Policy Committee. Number 4, we have the right to $580 million, that is $1989, payable to Inuit over 14 years, the right to share government's royalties from oil, gas, and mineral development on Crown land, and where Inuit own the surface, the right to negotiate with industry, economic and social benefits from non-renewable resource development, and the right to increase employment with government in Nunavut and increased access to government contracts. And in addition, the federal and territorial governments and TFN have agreed to evaluate how best to establish and implement a comprehensive wildlife harvesters income support program. We expect that such a program will be put in place at the same time that the final agreement is reached. And finally, Article 4 of the Nunavut Agreement in Principle commits the two governments and TFN to support in principle the creation of Nunavut territory and the financing of a Nunavut government outside of the claims agreement as soon as possible. The federal government will get much from the land claim settlement: certainty, clarity, and clarity of title to land and resources, better management of Arctic's fragile environment, national and international recognition and applause for its willingness to negotiate with its Arctic people, and a very clear expression of Canada's sovereignty over the disputed waters of the Northwest Passage. And we're a living symbol of Canada's sovereignty here in the Arctic. And last but not the least, one of the areas that I want to touch again is the political development issue. I and my colleagues on the TFN Board of Directors look forward to dealing with you and Dennis Patterson personally on the issue. However, I want you to realize that concluding a final agreement rests on how the federal and territorial governments work with Inuit to implement that Article 4. And we take the promise in this provision seriously, and we know you do.
Kiulamit tau sa tilarang mayabut talaga magkut inulay ito kakut ang ayok kakayayok minister tan sidin unikatilu inunut amataw tanan nuet sami siwuriyok tigayayok Dennis Patterson gawa kunni amma tamahan Amittuqmiut ukaktigayabut taitis alulok unikalang miyut.
Our history, our culture,